Hey everyone, hope you are doing well. You're with Noor here, and welcome back to another client interview. Today, I'm joined by another one of our amazing clients, Chris, who's been with us for about 5 months now and has done extremely well with the program without doing any form of outbound whatsoever. Which, Chris, I think it's a first, to be honest, where I've had an interview like this, so it's going to be super, super good. But yeah, obviously, Chris, I know you from the program and we've spoken, but for the people watching, why don't you introduce who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you deliver to your clients?
Yeah, so name's Chris, run a online info business coaching where we ultimately help engineers, electricians develop like upskill in terms of their technical skill set, but also develop like their careers and businesses into like home automation, industrial automation, controls, building management systems, that kind of thing. So yeah, business and career development. So, electricians and engineers can do more interesting work and make more money basically.
Yeah, amazing. And just to paint a picture in the people's mind here, how was business looking revenue-wise before you joined the program compared to how it's looking now?
Yeah, so as discussed, Nor, it was a bit up and down depending on me really. It was if it was around sort of the I would say 10K dollars mark. Yeah, if we sort of like average it out.
Mhm.
But it was basically when I was developing new marketing campaigns and new offers, then there was nothing. And then for the month or two after that, there was a bit coming in. So yeah, it was like nothing or very little 1 month, and then the next month I'd get a bit, and then it would just go in cycles like that.
Yeah. And then with from going through the periods of inconsistencies, I think you've been with us for 5 months now. What's the revenue look like now?
Yeah, so we've just had our two like fully dialed in terms of inbound.
Yeah.
And that's me only doing calls in the afternoon. So could still increase the capacity there a little bit. But yeah, the last 2 months we've done about 30K cash collected and about 45, 55 revenue.
Yeah, amazing stuff, man. And I know, again, that's purely from inbound. So we're definitely due for a part two if I can catch Chris in the coming months when he launches outbound. But before we get into that, Chris, talk to me about, what were some of the like key issues you were facing with the business before joining? And I know you briefly touched on it where it seemed like there was just no consistency or predictability in place. So if you can dive a bit deeper into what problems you were facing, which caused you to join the program, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean the main thing was just having direction. So that was the big thing. Just someone that's running exactly the same business that I am, and that have been there, done it, that are way, way, way ahead of me, and where I didn't have to just jump around between other different training programs. Like I've been through quite a few different programs, courses in the past, and they'll have bits, but it wasn't it wasn't just from start to finish, like absolutely everything and more. Um, so that was direction, really, step by step progression. And like the thing, the real thing that got me over the line was really coming down to my offer. Like I
Mhm.
was I was in so much pain, or just not knowing where to take my offer. I just had like no clarity whatsoever. And yeah, it was just that thing revolving, and I couldn't progress my business because I just didn't have that clarity on where to go, which niche to focus on.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean that was amazing. That was clear to me within like a couple of days going through
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah.
I Yeah, and that was just that alone. I would say is probably worth it. But
Yeah.
then there's so much more. Like you discover so much more when you get in.
Yeah. That's like the really funny part about you because you've done so well without even touching outbound, and that's another whole animal to be sort of like unraveled for your business, right?
Yeah, well, that's coming in the new year. So we're going to be
Yeah,
doing LinkedIn outbound. So be
yeah,
interesting to see where that goes.
yeah. You're definitely gonna crush it with that. So, in terms of how the business looked before, Chris, it'd be great to understand what you were actually doing to acquire clients that period where you didn't have a clear offer, things were a bit inconsistent. What were you actually doing to bring in the revenue that you were bringing in at the time?
Yeah, so it was doing like a lead magnet, different lead magnets on social media, um, collecting emails, and then doing email promoting courses basically.
Yeah.
So it was like individual courses rather than a program. So it was that really pretty much.
And it was a bit of a roller coaster because some periods were good, some periods were just like there was no predictability basically.
Yeah, I was just trying to. I didn't really know what the best strategy was. I was trying to figure it out on my own. I was just trying to see what worked best, but it uses up so much time, so much energy,
Yeah.
like trying to test these things. And we're entrepreneurs. We're on our own a lot of the time. We haven't really got like a team of people, and yeah, so that was kind of what I was doing. I was taking some sales calls because I was trying to sell like a higher ticket offer,
Yep.
which was sort of a bit hit and miss. Um, but yeah, it was kind of mostly, and then I was thinking about a paid school group. Like there was all these things. Was it a high ticket thing? Was it like multiple courses, or was it like
Yeah.
a low ticket paid community on school? And I was trying all these different things and trying to work out what was the most profitable,
Yeah.
what was the best thing basically. So yeah, just all over the place, like without clarity ultimately.
Yeah. Yeah. And it'd be great to hear your perspective, Chris, like from day one of the program, how did you sort of approach the program to get the clarity and get the results that you've gotten?
Hmm. Um, like what do you mean what how did I progress through the program? Like
Yeah.
yeah, so what specific like courses within the program you referring to, Noel?
Yeah, like what strategies did you sort of like leverage? Because I know inbound was like the main point of leverage for you the past few months. So it'd be good to
Yeah. Okay.
how that helped you, get things going pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, I just obviously followed the advice from Charlie, yourself, how to navigate the program, went through it in that order. And then yeah, as soon as I'd been through those things that were recommended to start with, I basically got straight into dialing in the things that I was already doing.
Mhm.
So like YouTube
Yep.
organic, um, a free school group, um, email,
Yep.
like email newsletter, back end email. So it was really, I was like, well, it makes sense to try and capitalize on the systems that I've already got running and just dial those in based
Yep.
on what you guys are suggesting. So that was the first thing. That was the first thing I did, and that's probably where we're at now. Actually, is just
Yep.
dialing in those systems. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on those systems specifically, Chris, which ones did he leverage? I think you said it was the email inbound, the YouTube inbound stuff. If you can just get like specific for the people that are watching, just so they have an idea of what you actually done, that'd be great.
Yeah, so the specific systems was organic YouTube inbound, so just dialing in that funnel. Well, I mean the offer was the first thing, getting
Yeah,
that
yeah,
worked out, but then dialing in that funnel
yeah,
for YouTube, shifting the model purely to a high ticket offer.
yep,
So not messing about with low ticket communities on school, like individual courses. Like I managed to just get rid of all of that and just focus everything on a high ticket offer. Um, so yeah, so sorry, the YouTube inbound, basically lead nurture, DM sorcery through the free school group,
Yeah.
and then just back end email.
Yeah, love it. And coming from a place of inconsistency and where there wasn't much strategy, how did it like differ when you started to go through the program and you started to see strategies where it was actually clear, predictable, and something that you can plug and play?
Well, I mean, just after the 2 days being in the program, just getting clarity on the offer on the niche, it was just like,
Yeah.
where I just didn't have clarity for like 2 weeks. I was going round and round, couldn't find the right way to go, right way to take the business, and just that alone, just
Yeah.
I felt so much peace and relief and confidence that I stumbled on the right program, um, and a program I mentioned it in that post, a program that I just know is going to be the only program I'm going to need for a very very long time, and that's just so nice to just have that feeling that you're in the right
Yeah.
place. You're getting the right advice from the right people that's worked and is working.
Mhm.
You're you're practicing what you preach,
Yep. Yep.
So
Exactly that.
I said in that post, I'm just really grateful to have found you guys, genuinely.
Yeah, and we're grateful to have you with us because you actually took action. It's one thing buying the program, but sometimes it can be
Yeah.
difficult,
Yeah.
not implementing the strategies. So, yeah, fantastic stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean you got to do the work.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that's something I always touch on in my outro. So you're going to be a witness to that
Yeah.
today. But Chris, I want to actually unravel a bit more about the offer and the niche selection because that was obviously a big a leverage point for you from the sound of things because that set up everything else.
Mm.
What did your offer look like prior to joining in terms of like what you were actually offering, the avatar? Like if you can give a breakdown of what it looked like compared to what it looks not like now, that'd be great.
Yeah, it so it yeah, because I mean there's so many different avatars and I'm still kind of
Mhm.
targeting them all. I'm still casting quite a wide net because it's working.
Yep.
It's the annoying thing is it's I've had to work on the sales process, different lines of questioning for different people. So it does add complication, but they're not two different people. But I was trying to decide whether to focus on electricians, engineers, whether I should just focus on business owners, just focus on self-employed contractors, just focus on people that want to progress their careers,
Yep.
or just focus on people that want to progress their businesses, or because I've got like technical training, I've got career training, and I've got some business training. It's so there's so many different avatars that I could target. So I didn't really know. It was just uncertainty really.
Yep.
So we are still targeting those people like mainly electricians and engineers, but I'm now focusing more on like I'm at the moment I'm in monk mode
Yeah.
developing the program through December, which is really focusing more on the career side. So because the programs it's got all the technical, it's got
Yep.
some career, it's got some business, but it's like it's the logical progression. So the technical's there. Next progression is focus on the career for like the people that want to progress their careers, and then the next bit will be the business for the people that really want to progress their business. And again, I'm in such a good place to help me do that with you guys.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
just clarity really, Nor. Sorry, I strung that answer.
No, 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 no. It's perfect. It's perfectly put. Yeah, I can see when you speak about the offer, there's pain in your voice remembering
Yeah.
what before joining. But no, that's fantastic, Chris. And with regards to your team structure, Chris, it'd be great to hear like the operation side of things. Like, what does the business look like in terms of team, how many clients you've currently got, and how you're currently fulfilling for these guys?
Yeah. So So team, it's been yeah, basically this has been about 2 years that I've been doing this. So I've
Mhm.
been doing it for about I did it for the first year on my own, mostly developing the program, testing it, iterating, getting feedback, like selling it the way that I was selling it, mostly through um, inbound and email. So then after a year, I realized that I need to get a video editor on board. So TJ, he does all the video editing, and more recently, in the last 6 months, he's basically responsible for basically the complete all the content management. So social media management, scheduling, creative to a certain degree, and assisting me there. And then, as we mentioned at the start, Nor, the Jen, who's a colleague that I used to work with, sorry, about 5 years, 3 or 4 years ago, that I stayed in contact with. She's she's now doing ops, which is where we're at the moment with the business. Is basically a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but trying to take as much off my plate as possible so I can really just focus on sort of program development in the mornings, and then basically sales in the afternoon. That's kind of how I'm structuring things now, and she's basically doing as much as she can to sort of run the business. She's also doing the lead gen stuff and lead nurture. Um, that's what the team looks like. What was the other
Yeah.
question?
And then how many clients do you currently have, Chris? And how are you fulfilling for them? Is it like you said, it's a program with a group, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so similar to you guys, similar to what you
Uh,
recommend, is it I have actually switched this from I was just giving the whole program for life, but with no community.
got it.
So now it's kind of it's structured how you guys teach to structure it, and it's within a school group, where there is that community, there is those coaching calls. And I think there's probably about, I don't know off the top of my head, but probably around sort of 40-ish people in there at the moment.
Yeah. Killer stuff, man. Killer stuff. And with what you're currently doing, Chris, compared to before in terms of how your day looks, um, are you primarily just focused on sales right now? Or are you still involved in like the inbound side of things, or what do your days typically look like right now?
Yeah, well, it's a mixture of content, content admin and program development
Yeah,
mornings, and if I can maximize time to develop the program, that's what I do. And then I take sales calls in the afternoon, so
yeah.
averaging sort of between like 4 and 6 sales calls pretty much every day.
Nice, amazing stuff, man. You're eventually going to become a full-time content creator. That's what Charlie's saying now when you have salespeople in place. So look forward to that.
That's the dream, isn't it? Where you can just focus on making the program as best as it can be, putting all your time, energy into that. I mean, the YouTube stuff, I would like to outsource that as well. I'm not a massive fan of doing YouTube, but it's a means to an end. But yeah, I suppose having more time to focus on that
Yeah,
would make it less stressful. It's a little bit stressful. It's like it's not something I enjoy doing, but it's
yeah.
it's important. I think it's
That's it.
worth doing.
Yeah, exactly what Charlie says. He doesn't want to do it, but it has to be done. So yeah,
Yeah,
there we go. Chris, obviously the program it contains a lot of things where you've got the school group, you've got the community, you've got the different coaching calls in different areas, and obviously you've got loads of course content to go through, parts which you haven't even leveraged yourself yet.
yeah.
Is there anything specifically you love about the program that stands out from everything else?
Well, I mean, it's really hard to say, mate, because it's just everything is there. Um, yeah, I think the big thing for me was the offer. I mean, just
Yeah,
creating an offer. I'm actually the last week I've just started going back through acquisition genesis, but in
love it.
reverse. Um, and you just think it's just just using all these scientific disciplines and applying it to client acquisition. It's like it's a really clever way to do it, to have done
Yep.
it. And it just makes sense and you can't really argue with it. It's just, you can't really argue with it. So yeah, I mean that's just how that's done is just so clever. Acquisition Genesis is amazing. But the I think the mindset stuff for me, it was good to go through it again. Um, I think a lot of the stuff, I think I was kind of there. I've
Mhm.
been through enough pain
Yep.
previously, partly building the program first time round, so I kind of could relate to a lot of the things that were said in that. I mean, consulting Nirvana, I'm not all the way through that yet, but I'm excited to start scaling
Yeah.
and implementing. I mean, it's just all there, and like I haven't even touched the outbound stuff or the ads yet. Obviously, the inbound stuff. I mean, it's just yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be done. Lot to be done next year with
Yeah, that's
the
it.
rest of the program.
It's gonna be a fun 2025. So yeah, love it. Chris, how does version of one of you look like compared to the version I'm speaking to right now that has achieved the success? So did you have any sort of limiting beliefs that were holding you back prior to joining, in terms of like getting the systems working, or it's not going to work if I transition to high ticket, niche down, etc., etc.? It'd be great to hear from your perspective, like what sort of identity shift you had to make in order to succeed.
That's a good question. Or
Or you probably have remained the exact same, and you just needed a few solutions.
yeah, to be fair, I think in terms of who I am, I wouldn't say I've changed so much as a person. Like I've always,
Yep,
it's I realized a long time ago that the best investment you can make is in yourself.
yep,
Um, and this, and yeah, it was making that investment was a good decision. Um, I think really just what was probably an answer to your question, or is it confirmed a lot of things that I thought, but
got
I
it.
wasn't
Yep.
necessarily confident on.
Hmm.
So you move ahead with something in business, but
Yep.
you're doing it tentatively.
Yep.
You don't. Yeah. So sorry, that's the best
No,
answer
no.
I can give on that one.
Completely understand. It's basically you reaffirming what you already had in your mind, pretty much. You just needed like something there for you to confirm what you already knew.
Yeah, yeah. To
Yep.
to the you guys that are way ahead of me, just to confirm that mostly you're on the right tracks.
Yeah.
So that was good to hear. But I mean, there's probably loads of little minor things that have, I don't really, I'm not really, I'm not really aware of these things. They just sort of like, I'm like, right, that makes sense. That's just a paradigm that I absorb, and then
Yep.
that's,
That's
so
it.
I'm not really conscious of these things. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's loads of things that I'm unaware of that have changed since joining the program.
It's good. It's worked out so far. So whatever you're doing, you keep doing it. So yeah,
Yeah.
Chris, simple question for you. How does it feel to just have this predictability in place, in just the space of, 5 months, coming from a place where, like you were describing, you just didn't know what was going on. Some months were up, some months were down. Now you've got predictability, and now the business, it hasn't even reached its potential yet, and yet you're doing so well. How does it feel?
It just gives me, well, peace is the first thing, like a lot more peace, and just confidence really, and that you just know if there's any doubt, if there's any questions, I can just me, Jen, TJ, we can just come to you guys,
Mhm.
and it will be answered, it will be sorted, and
Yeah.
there's no more of those roadblocks that I hit 5 months ago that it's just there. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, love it. Chris, typically, as we round up the interview here, typically there's two groups of people that watch it. The first of which are current clients in the community, and the second of which are people that have yet to join the program for whatever reason. For the people that are currently in the program, what would you say your best pieces of advice would be in terms of succeeding with it from your experience working with us?
It's yeah, cliche, but just do the work.
Yeah.
Just do the work. Like it's all there. You just need to do it. And be patient because yeah, you can't expect these things. Like I've been doing um content online for like 3 to 4 years, and that's like a real long burn. But it's now starting to pay off.
Yeah.
It's now starting to pay off. With obviously these systems that you've taught, but it's just like putting the work in, going through the program. Just keep doing it consistently and because there's enough people that have got results through your program. Just know that if you just do that and you
Yep.
keep doing it and you give it as much time that's needed, that it will pay off because it will pay off. It has paid off for many people. So
Yeah.
do the work, give it time and be patient, really.
Yeah. Well said. And for people that have yet to join, Chris, maybe, they want to think about it. Maybe they've, stumbled across the program and they're not sure. Almost like you're reselling yourself, I guess. What would you say to those people that have yet to join from your experience working with us?
Yeah, well, I don't think I told you this, Nor, but when I first inquired about the program, spoke to Hannah, lovely, lovely girl, had a really good conversation with her, but I just felt like stupidly, wrongly, it wasn't the right time for me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And because we had a baby on the way and like the
Yeah, I remember you
business
saying, yeah, yeah, in
and
the
the
school.
business was up and down, up and down, up and down. So I just felt like it wouldn't have been responsible of me. The fact that the baby was due in like a month's time for me to invest at that moment. So I didn't invest on that call. But guess what? I went back to work and I was still hitting that brick wall,
Yep.
couldn't find that direction, still in huge amounts of pain. And I was just like, it's got to be done. So
Yeah.
2 days later, I spoke to Hannah again and joined. Um, so like you if you're considering it, like your problems aren't gonna just change overnight. So it just just get on and do it, basically.
That's
Like
just the
just get on and do it. If you're thinking about it, and this program is there's nothing else like it. And you don't need anything else. It's as simple as that. So if you're serious about developing your business, whatever business it is, like this is the solution right here.
Yeah. Amazing. Good stuff, Chris. Yes, glad we eventually got you on there. So yeah, fantastic. Chris, last question for you. Where can people find you if they just want to keep up with your business and how you're getting on?
Yeah, so we're on pretty much all social medias. So just search B Automation and you'll find us.
Amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview, guys. I'm gonna archive this or archive, however you pronounce it, as part one with Chris because, like I said, he's achieved what he's achieved without going crazy on outbound or without even touching it. So when we get outbound going, there's gonna be a part two, and he's gonna scale to the absolute moon. So hopefully, I can reach him in a couple of months. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Hope you found this valuable. I'm gonna do my famous outro here, Chris. And I'm sure you'll agree with every word I say. If you are someone that is watching this interview and you want a get rich quick pill and you just want to join something and your problems disappear the very next day and you have the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the watches and the revenue Chris has in the space of one day and that's that. This program is not for you. I'm not going to sell you a magic pill. I'm not going to sell you a get rich quick scheme. This is a program where it requires work. We provide you with the proven framework, the proven support. And, if you do the work like Chris explained, and if you ask questions and if you follow what's being said, you will achieve success like Chris has If, however, you want something, overnight with the stuff that's being promoted on Instagram where they sell you the lifestyle and claim it's easy and claim it can be done in a day, that's not what we sell, unfortunately. If you do have the magic pill to that, please let me know because I'll happily take that. But if you're someone that wants to follow a proven framework, just like Chris has, and put in the necessary work, then be sure to book a call with us. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel or the site, be sure to check out the other interviews as well. I think this is number 90. So yeah, check out all the other client success stories that we've had, and we hope to see you with us in the group. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.